Okay, welcome to the day 2 of our daily practice for our Algebra 2 students. So we're going to take a look at quite a few problems in this daily practice because we just want to cover as many topics you need to know for the final exam. Alright, so let's take a look on the first problem. So for the first one, we have an operation of the logarithm. So here you can see that we have a subtraction of the log, but we can see that here the base of the logarithms here are not the same as each other, so we are not going to use the operation. But if you take a look on each of this log, seems like we can evaluate the log directly. So for example, the log base 3 of 27 is just equal to a 3 because 3 to the power of 3 is equal to 27. And then the log base 2 of 4 is equal to 2, and also the log base 4 of 16 is equal to a 2 as well. So this calculation will become a 3 minus 2 squared, which is equal to a -1, or we are going to choose the answer choice A. Okay, and then for the second problem here, we want to solve the rational equations. So first we can take a look on the basis, like on the bottom here for each of the fraction. We can see that the common denominator of those fractions will be x squared minus 4. So we can first multiply both sides by the x squared minus 4. And then the first term will just be an x. And the second one here, because we know x squared minus 4 is equal to x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 2, we can then cancel them out to have a 2 multiplied by x minus 2. So we have a plus 2 multiplied by x minus 2. And then is equal to a x plus 2, right? So we make sure to multiply both sides by the same number. And then this will become x plus 2x minus 4 is equal to a x plus 2. And then we can simplify this to have 2x is equal to a 6, or the x is equal to a 3. So we can have the final answer as x equals 3. Okay, and then for the choice 3 here, if y equals 5 multiplied by -3a plus 7 to the power of x is an exponential function, and y decreases as the x increases, then what's going to be the range of a? Alright, so in this case here, because we know it's an exponential function and y decreases as x increases, so we know that for the base of this power, the base has to be from 0 to 1 if we want to satisfy this condition here. So now we can simplify this here to have a 0, a -7 is less than -3 times the a, and then less than a -6. So after we divide both sides by a -3, we are going to have the a is larger than 2 but less than 7 over 3. Okay, so now we can take a look on the answer choices. The only possible choice will be the choice D. Alright, and now we can take a look at the problem 4. So here we want to see that the graph of y equals 5a to the power of 3x minus 6 plus 3 must pass through the fixed point. And also the value of y decreases as x what? So here we can first identify the value of this fixed point. So we know the fixed point will happen when the exponent of the power is equal to 0. So we can first make 3x minus 6 equals a 0, and we can have the x equals a 2. So now you can see that if you evaluate the function at x equals 2, then this function will become 5 multiplied by a to the power of 0 plus a 3, which is equal to an 8, because a to the power of 0 is equal to 1, no matter the value of the a is. So we know that the function must pass through the point 2 and 8. Because when you evaluate this here, the base doesn't matter anymore. So we know the choice A, B will be wrong. And then because we know the base is larger than 0 but less than 1, so the value of the y will decrease as the x increases. So we will also choose the answer choice D. Okay, and then we have the three sides of the triangle ABC are denoted as the sides A, B, and C respectively, and then satisfy the equation a cubed minus b cubed is equal to a squared times b minus ab squared, and then plus ac squared minus the bc squared. So what's going to be the triangle for this shape? So we have the hint to move all the terms to one side and then factor. So we can try this out. So we are going to first move every single term to one side. So let's move them to the left. So we are going to have a cubed minus b cubed, and then also minus the a squared times the b plus the ab squared. And then we also have the plus minus ac squared, and also plus the bc squared. Okay, and then to factor this, we can take a look on this equation here. So first we can factor out by grouping all these terms. So for example, you can group the a cubed and the a squared b. So we will have the a cubed minus a squared times the b, and then we have the b cubed and then the ab squared. So we can have a ab squared minus the b cubed. And then lastly here we also have the minus ac squared plus the bc squared. Okay, and then we can factor out the a squared from the first term here to have a minus b, and then we also factor out the b squared to have the a minus b, and then lastly here we can also factor out a minus c squared to be the a minus b here, and then we can factor out the a minus b, and this will be a squared plus b squared, and minus c squared is equal to a 0. Because after we factor out all of this to one side here, this is just going to be equal to a 0. Okay, so now you can see that there will be two possible cases. You will either have the a minus b is equal to 0, which means a equals b. In this case, it will be an isosceles triangle. Or you can have the a squared plus the b squared is equal to c squared, which will make this triangle a right triangle. So you can see it can be either an isosceles triangle or a right triangle. So we can then choose the answer choice D. Okay, and then for this choice, the problem 6 here, if A is equal to this set x larger than -5 and less than 4, and then B belongs to is in the set from 0 to 6, then what's going to be the intersection of the two sets? So to better find out the result of this problem here, what we can do is try to draw a number line, and you can just picture this intervals on the number line. So for the first one here, we have the -5 onto the 4. So we have a -5, and then we have a 4 over here, and then the x will be inside of this range. And then we also have the other one here, which is the b from 0 to 6. So we also have the 0 over here, and then we have the 6 over here, and now it's going to be the included. So we are going to have the 0 to 6 inclusive. This will be the b, and then for the overlapping, it's just going to be the region over here, and you can see that the overlapping will be larger than or equal to 0 but less than a 4. So it's going to be the answer choice C. Alright, and for the problem 7 here, we want to solve the absolute value inequality. 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to 2x, and 3x minus 4 is in the absolute value sign. So what's going to be the answer for this problem here? So you can see that first of all, we want to remove the absolute value sign based on the range of the value here. So there will be two possible cases. The first case will be when 3x minus 4 is not negative. So the case 1 will be when 3x minus 4 is non-negative or is larger than or equal to 0, meaning that x will be larger than or equal to a 4 over 3. Because only like this, we can just remove the absolute value sign, and we will have a 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to a 2x, or x is less than or equal to 4. So now if we combine these two ranges here, we will have the x to be larger than or equal to a 4 over 3, but also less than or equal to a 4. Alright, so this will be the first case. And then we can also look at the second case, which is when the 3x minus 4 is less than 0. And we also have the x is less than a 4 over 3. Okay, so in this case here, we are going to just have the 3x minus 4, but the opposite of this is less than or equal to a 2x. And after we simplify this, we will have a negative 5x is less than or equal to 4, or the x should be larger than or equal to negative 4 over 5. So in other words, now we are going to have this range to be x is larger than or equal to a negative 4, but less than a 4 over 3. So if we combine them here, you can see that the smallest possible value of the x will be negative 4 over 5. And then because we can be less than 4 over 3, but it's also fine to be larger than or equal to 4 over 3. So we just want to make sure the x is also less than or equal to 4 to satisfy this inequality. Okay. All right, so now we just have the last problem here. So Maria invested $1,500 in a saving account that earns 5% interest rate per year. And then if she makes no additional deposit or withdrawals, how much money will she have in the account after 8 years? And we can run to the nearest whole number. So here we can first set up our just the equation. So here we can see that if we denote the balance of the account to be A, then after 8 years, it will be the initial deposit 1,500 multiplied by the interest rate is 5%. So we multiply by a 1 plus 5% to the power of the 8. Okay, and then if we approximate this value here, is going to be approximately equal to 2,216, or it will be the answer choice D. All right, so that will be it for the daily practice today. See if you can get all the questions correct, and don't forget to just submit or to finish this daily practice every single day. Okay, all right, so that will be it for today.